Hey everyone, it's Garfield here. It's been a while since I last created a video, but not because I was missing in action, but because I've done mostly live. And today I'm excited to share with you uh, Earn's 100 days review and what I thought of it. And so I'd like for you to go with me. I'd like for you to learn with me, and I'd like for you to feel me in this presentation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run through the entire slides. It gives you an opportunity to learn it, to get familiar with it, and then I will create another AMA. Maybe hold on, let me just check scheduling. Maybe tomorrow at 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, Thursday. Okay, so without further ado, let's move forward. And 100 days of earn. After 100 days of earn operation, we have good data on what works and what needs to change. In this deck, we present our learnings and our plan to address the issues we have discovered with our new solution, Earn 2.0. Okay, so stay with me, folks. Stay with me. Current Earn business model review. Bind to earn and get 150% of your funds in 180 days. We already know that. That remains the same. Refer someone to earn and get 25% of their buy amount. This is actually by far, I think, the highest commission that we're giving out, if you compare it to other protocols out there. And the next one is incoming buy funds are allocated as follows. This will be found in the FAQ of our Earn dashboard. The daily claims, the referrals, high yield investment, ecosystem, token liquidity, and finally marketing and operations. Okay. Earnings of full term claims. Now, full term are the 180 dayers. I call them the 180 dayers. These are the people that came in and locked in for the next 180 days. Thank you for those of you who have decided to do this, because this is really the way I kind of thought in the beginning before we started that everyone's going to do, because this is what we want so that we can continue to develop the game. So the full term claims paid through high yield investment and ecosystem token price appreciation. Going to the next slide, this is what we've observed in the last week's data. You'll see here that the buyers are generally about the same or less than combined referrals plus claims. So the blue is the buy, the red and the yellow is the withdrawal, and the yellow is the referral. So as you can see here, the red and the yellow is always higher than the buy. So in other words, we've come to discover in the last 100 days, of course, we started really hyped up. We were up there May and June, up there in June, and then July, we started just dwindling down in the recruiting. And we'll go over that in the next slides. But here you will discover that the withdrawals are pretty much either the same level or higher than the incoming buys. Okay. So what we did is we did a problem analysis. And assumption number one, more daily buys than claims. That's really, what I thought in the beginning, being that our commission is 25%, this will create more drive into recruiting, because it's a 25% commission. It's instantly available in your wallet, that you can spend for your marketing, for your traveling. But in reality, on average, 3 times more claims are happening than buys. Assumption number two, daily claim amount would be 5 to 10% of buy amount. That's the assumption that we had in the beginning. But the reality is that daily claim amount matches or exceeds buy amount, right? These are the assumptions that we are now identifying. Assumption number three, funds available for investment, liquidity, marketing, and operations after daily claims are paid, but in reality, no funds left to operate or grow the business. Why? Because in the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've noticed that all of these allocated funds that's supposed to go to investment, to liquidity, to marketing are all being geared, driven, put towards 100% servicing of the daily withdrawals because we wanted to always make it right by you. But in my honest opinion, that strategy would be a good recipe for our company, for our protocol to not grow, to slow down, or to even fail. Okay. Assumption number four, referrals would be affected. Again, I explained why, because making a 25% commission, I mean, $1,000 package gives you an automatic $250 commission instantly available to your wallet. I think that's a big, it's a big compensation, right? It's really it's a good chunk, right? But the reality is people are self-referring their own wallets. That's just the reality. These are the observations, the data that we have gathered in the last 100 days. People self-referring their own wallets. Assumption number five, people would not use claim funds to buy again. Again, we were, wrong in that assumption because in reality, people buy again with claim funds. So people claim, yes, they buy again. People claim they buy again. That's hurting the platform. That's going to hurt the platform. When I convince the team that the $100 becomes 150 in 180 days, given at 0.83% a day, I was under the assumption that everyone's gonna run with us because we want the game to be fully developed and let the world, know that Sabong Studios has already completed and built the Sabong Evolution game. But that's not what happened. That's not what's happening right now, right? So what we're doing here is we're analyzing. That's why this page, we call it problem analysis. Okay, moving forward, here we introduce Earn 2.0. I assure you, some of you will probably go, huh. Some of you will go, I like this, Garfield, right? Some of you will go, hmm. The bottom line, here I am, your servant, your leader, the front runner for Sabong Studios, right? My vision is to complete, to finish Sabong Evolution game. My vision is to continue to go out there, find angel investors who will continue to back us up. My goal is to make sure that everyone, meaning low, high, big or small, everyone is taken care of, creating a fair playing field for everyone. So Earn 2.0 will be introduced, and it's a solution. I've always said this in my previous um, live or even recording that I'm a person that is solution driven. I'm not a problem dweller. I identify the problem, and when there's a problem, it needs to be addressed. So we immediately created a 100-day earn report so that we can identify the things that we can improve on, and we can identify the things that we need to control. Number one, the claim all button will be replaced with an individual claim button per buy. That's what's going to happen. Okay. So that I know in the past we've had people in Discord saying, hey, I don't want to claim all. I just want to claim a little. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do an individual claim button per buy. Okay. Now, 20% of buy funds go into daily claim pool. Okay, what that means is 20%, because remember, in the last 2, 3 weeks, 100% of all that's coming in is given directly to the pay wallet. We can't allow that to continue because it would be detrimental to the growth of Sabong Studios. because obviously the marketing, the development, the Dexter, some of you have asked a question, right? That's why I quietly didn't respond to those, because Dexter is not able to perform, because whatever Dexter is supposed to get is just put into the pay wallet for the daily withdrawals. We don't want that. We want an even distribution where all areas of Sabong Studios are growing together. So we're not stopping daily withdrawal. You can still go with the daily withdrawal. Of course, my hope is that after this presentation, that more people will support the 180 dayers. I commend the people that have locked in for the next 180 days, because these are the people that allows us to continue to grow. I remember iFly Buzz. I think I heard his comment in Discord. I support the cat. Go big or go home. Thank you. I am humbled by the comments of people like that. But you can rest assured, I'm always going to be here to make sure that everything we do is in the up and up. Meaning, I don't want to, hide behind the curtain, pretend everything is okay when it's not. No, we got to address the issue as early as now so that we can find a solution for it. So, in other words, all claims, okay, you see it, all claims go into claim queue. Each wallet can have only one pending claim, right? So, in other words, if you have a claim for $100, for example, it goes into the queue, and based on the incoming buys and also the trading profit, from there, 20% of that will be allotted to the daily withdrawals. Each wallet can have only one pending claim. What that means is until your first claim is fulfilled, that's the only time you can send your second claim. Okay? Again, I don't want you guys to think that this is a way of penalizing or punishing. No, no. This is strategically being implemented so that we can protect the integrity of our protocol. A lot of you will agree with me. A lot of you will support me, especially the long-term holders, the 180 dayers. I call them that. The daily withdrawers and the 180 dayers. The 180 dayers will definitely like this program because it protects the protocol, it protects the platform. Okay. And it's not to say that the daily withdrawers are the bad people. No, no, it's not that. Daily withdrawal is still allowed. We just need to somehow mitigate, control, rather than having the faucet all turned up, turned on, and the incoming is lower than what's coming out. That's dangerous, right? And I much rather be the person to say that to you, because I'm your servant leader, and that's what I call myself. I serve you, and I am just the same as you are. When we first started back in 2 years ago, I'm an investor just like you, but I've taken the initiative to step it up, to go up a higher notch, and build a protocol, build a game. And it became more stressful for me, but good stress is not a bad stress, right? Because I know that there's a lot of people that supports me, and that's the reason why I will continue to run and I will continue to work for the community of Sabong Studios. Claim Q paid pro rata each time pool reaches $1,000. So in other words, it's 1,000, then it pays out for that daily, right? Well, my projection is with this, I think our growth will begin to go up again. Because the chart that we've seen is it's going down. But I think from here, it may potentially create a U shape, right? It'll start going up again because the motivation is that the motivation is that you're now looking at earn 2.0 that is more reliable rather than, some people may be thinking of it as a money game, because we're not. you know we have a lot of substance, we have a lot of use case. Okay. And finally, what we're giving to you, we're taking out claim fees that used to be 10%. Now no more claim fees. I've seen protocols that charge 45% for the withdrawals, because they're trying to discourage the daily withdrawals. So they charge 45%, come down to 40, then 35%. Here, we're taking out the claim fees. We're just mitigating, we're controlling the the daily withdrawals by giving the allotted percentage, which is 20% in this picture, just like which I will get to in the next slide. So referral amount from 25 now changed to 20. Okay. If you're not recruiting, this doesn't affect you. If you're a recruiter, it doesn't affect that much, right? But remember, this 20% is we've tested in the last 100 days. And I think, a lot of people have been happy with the 25% commission. But again, I repeat, I go back and saying that the goal here is for us to protect the integrity of Sabong Studios. Now, each earn buy can optionally buy Sabong Evolution blind boxes. This is new. Each earn buy. So in other words, if you buy $25 package or $250 package, you're going to get blind box. You want blind boxes. I know that the hype that we've had for the last 100 days is all about daily income, commission. Folks, you want to have blind boxes. That's why we're integrating this cross-selling, the blind boxes being available at 20%. Okay? And here's a big part, each $500 buy automatically gets a free blind box. Now stop. I know some of you are gonna go, wait, what happened here? I just bought last day or last month, I mean last week or last night. Again, this is the promotion beginning today. Okay? This is the promotion beginning today. When not today, but when we implement this, right? And for every $500 earned by, you automatically get a free blind box. So it's easily to think, very easy to think, oh, wow. So if I buy 1,000, I get 2 blind box. You see, that's what we're giving back to you. Okay. Moving forward, we're almost done. Earn 2.0 continuation, Sabong Studio share units. I gotta admit, I salute our community for the response that we've gotten for the 462,000 shares that we decided to give to our community of supporters. You see, even seed investors paid for those shares, right? But the people that converted, I think a little over 200 now, the people that converted during this past 4 days, I commend you. Why? Because this is how we can grow together, right? This is how we can grow together. So we were, and or if I speak for myself, I was willing to sacrifice a 462,000 Sabong Studio share unit, which we were supposed to roll over to round two at 750. But everyone I was able to convince in my team that let's give it to the community. And that's the reason why this 462, I think I haven't checked, but we were almost down there. So we decided that we will set aside another 133 share units from new funding round available to users who lock claims for 180 days. So these are the people that I call the 180 dayers, right? Since I started recruiting last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all the people that I brought in, they all came in at 180 days. So in my analysis, it's a matter of how we pitch, right? What would be the sales pitch? My sales pitch, and I tried it. I was amazed to discover that most of these people wanted to, well, I want the shares, so I'm going to go ahead and let it ride for full term, and I can get the shares now. So moving forward, these shares, you're not paying for it. It's given to you for free. It's priced at 7.50. Share unit used for calculating units only. Okay, you're not paying for it, you're getting it for free. Now, discounted share unit price will be at $6, so we discounted it 20% as well. Okay, so blind box purchase with earn buy and $500 plus earn buy. Okay, and finally, this is now the new buy funds allocation. The previews, the daily claims pay out all claims. Okay, we were diligently doing that so that we can always assure everyone that we make it right by you. So all of these, the 25% referral automatically gets into the wallet of the referrer, but this 40% high yield investment, liquidity, 15% marketing ops, this has stopped in the last 2-3 weeks. in the last 20 days. It has stopped. And as your servant leader, I've allowed it to happen, but obviously it costs liquidity. Dexter, right? Hey, is Dexter still a thing? Hey, is Dexter still gonna pump, pump the volume? Hey, is Dexter still asleep? These are the reasons why that I share this information, because these are the data that we've gathered in the last 100 days. Back in May, June, late June, early July, Dexter was pretty active, but it's gotten to the point where the withdrawals are three times higher than the incoming. So here we are. The new allocation is 20% of the incoming and the trading profit will be directed to the daily claims. So daily claims remains the same. My hope is that you will have a vision of running with me. You'll have a vision of becoming a 180-dayer, right? That's my vision. That's my projection. Okay. So if that happens, because we're controlling it, we're mitigating the rollout of these funds rather than the entire 100% just goes into the daily claim, then we're not going to grow, right? We want to be able to protect the integrity of our protocol, so we need to really be able to practice right here. We need to be able to practice this allocation diligently. So referrals, we've dropped it 5%, so it's now 20%. Again, if you're not referring, then it doesn't affect you. But I encourage you, because this is how we grow together, right? I encourage you to go out there. Now you have a pretty, in my opinion, a more solid tokenomics that you can share with your families and friends, not thinking, oh, this is money game. Oh, this is not going to be around. Oh, it's too good to be true, because it's not. We are a protocol that's being built on a blockchain. We are here to stay. If Bitcoin started at 2 cents and now at 150 and 120,000, we only want Savo and Vitru to go up $1. In each one of us will have a big smile in our faces. So Sabong Studios is not about the daily withdrawals. Sabong Studios is about the completion of the game. It's about the appreciation of Savo, appreciation of the Vitru, which is a native coin for the blockchain. Sabong Studios is about anarchy that we plan to roll out in the third and fourth quarter of 2026. Sabong Studios is about the energy drink that we want the gamers to be able to use while they're playing Sabong Evolution game. Sabong Studio is about the apparel that we want the world to be wearing on a regular basis, so that they too will help us in marketing. That's who we are. We've reduced the high yield investment 30%, as you can see at the bottom. Full term claims, these are the 180-dayers, will continue to be funded by the return from high yield investments and price appreciation of ecosystem tokens held in treasury. I'd like to slow down a bit. I know many of us have noticed that the price of Savo has dropped tremendously. Well, I think now you know why, right? Dexter was like frozen in the freezer, because what's supposed to go to him, it ended up just feeding the daily servicing of the daily withdrawals. We're not going to worry about that now. We're going to wake up Dexter again, because Dexter liquidity is now 10%. And here's the best part. The best part is, I've realized that in the past, Dexter were injecting, he was injecting 50, 100,000, funds that are coming into these tokens, right? That just becomes an exit liquidity for others. But here's the good news. Dexter now will be fully concentrated into the EFT pool. You know what that means? EFT pool now will continue to grow on a regular basis. I mean, on a daily basis, based on the recruiting and the incoming and the trading profit. It will now receive that 10% a day. It won't be stagnant anymore. You see, all of these things we have to identify, so that we can make the improvement as early as now, during our celebration of the 100 days of earned report. Okay. And finally, marketing and ops. This is the part where we market and develop the game. We didn't change it. It's still the same at 20%, right? These are the breakdown that I think will truly carry us through the completion of our game. I mean, imagine just come September, October, we need to start minting the roosters, right? The hatchlings will now grow into a rooster, and without marketing, it'll be very hard. So now X amount of dollars is set aside for marketing so we can get help from the outside to market our hatchlings. Okay. These are beautiful hatchlings. I remember during the time of Axie Infinity, these are ugly creatures, but this token went up from cents to 171. And remember, Sabo will be an in-game token that will be used in the Sabong Evolution game. So that's why I want you to know and realize that this presentation that I'm giving you right now is nowhere near penalizing, punishing, restricting, nowhere near that. This is a strategy that I believe will allow us to continue moving forward so that we can we can achieve our goal of being able to finish the game. So, with that said, rollout schedule, all Earn 2.0 changes are expected to be available early next week. I thank you, I really do, for being part of Sabong Studios. Your servant leader here speaks from the heart because I believe that it's me that you wanted to hear from about this 100-day report that we put together with data that's backing it up. I think what I see, what I project, is that from here on forward, I think the recruiting will begin to grow organically. I think that will begin to grow organically so that, because right now we're at a U, right? We're going down like this. And I want us to pick up from here and start going up again. So we're going to create a U shape so that we can once again. You're probably thinking 20%. Oh, that's not much. Well, actually, no, it's a lot. If our incoming is growing consistently, exponentially, 20% is a lot. A good example would be, say, for example, on daily withdrawals, 3,000, but the incoming is 15,000. 20% of 15,000 is 3,000. So that takes care. We've had days where we had incomings of 40,000, 60,000, right? So I don't want you to think, oh, 20%, that's not a lot. No, it is. It is a lot. We just need to get back into, on track, get back on track where the allocations are really sent to their proper buckets so that everything else is moving, not just the daily withdrawals. Thank you again. Thank you for listening. I will be doing another video, not video, a live, like I said in the beginning of this presentation, maybe it's 7 p.m. PST, so that I can let you absorb this information, and then together we will answer during the AMA any questions that you might have pertaining to this presentation. Once again, Garfield here, and may God bless you all.